Business View special issue contains the final 10 minutes of the CBS Evening News of March 6, 1981, which was Walter Cronkite's last appearance as anchorman of the CBS Evening News.
The UN General Assembly today unanimously endorsed 2 resolutions calling for sanctions against South Africa to force that country to give up control of Namibia. The Assembly called on the Security Council to convene urgently to consider the matter. The United States abstained on both votes. Last night, a CBS News investigation looked into persistent reports that mysterious flashes of light off the South African coast in late '79 actually may have been a nuclear test. Tonight, in the second part of our report, Robert Pierpoint takes a look at conflicting explanations for those light flashes and who may have been responsible for them.
More than 10 months after the U.S. spy satellite called Vela spotted what appeared to be a nuclear blast off the coast of South Africa, a panel of scientists assembled by the Carter White House to investigate the incident concluded that the telltale light flashes may have been caused by a tiny meteorite colliding with the spacecraft and reflecting sunlight into its cameras. While not ruling out a nuclear explosion as the cause, the panel's chairman insisted the meteorite scenario, as improbable as it sounds, made more sense.
Well, we're not enamored of that explanation. We're just saying that seems more appealing than the others we've heard.
But scientists at the world's largest radio telescope insist there was corroborative evidence, an unusual gravity wave picked up by the telescope on the same night and from the same general direction as the Vela sighting, a readout consistent with nuclear explosions.
Obviously, almost certainly, there was a large influx of energy somewhere over South Africa at about the time the Vela satellite saw its flash.
But Dr. Benke was not the only critic of the White House report. CIA analysts who more than 2 years ago concluded that South Africa probably has nuclear weapons told select members of Congress that the South African Navy was conducting secret maneuvers in the area on the night of the incident, a Navy equipped with Israeli-made Reshev-class missile boats and Gabriel missiles capable of carrying nuclear warheads. Then the Defense Intelligence Agency leaked its own reports, concluding the flash probably came from a nuclear explosion of between 1 and 3 kilotons. Shortly after that, another report leaked, this one a secret 300-page analysis by the U.S. Naval Research Laboratory of underwater signals detected at the time of the Vela sighting. The lab's director concluded the signals were detected at the right times and had the approximate characteristics of a nuclear explosion. The evidence is strong enough to make the case in its own right. It was also learned that the National Technical Information Service, a kind of storehouse of non-classified data open to the public, had been filling several subscribers' requests for data concerning detection and countermeasures for nuclear explosions, missile technology, navigation, guidance and control of weapons, and, ironically, data concerning the flight plans, predicted orbit plots, and operations of the Vela satellite. One subscriber was the defense attaché of the South African Embassy in Washington.
Whatever the intelligence community has been telling people on the outside, if they have, and I don't know, about what this is based, I'm sure, on their judgment based on all data. It's not that they've included intelligence data that we don't have.
But one would assume that they have access to this. They had access to the same material.
There's nothing that we did that they don't know, and I think we probably did a more thorough analysis than was ever done before about this event.
All right, and yet...
There's nothing that they know, to my knowledge, and I'm quite sure is correct, that they have that we don't know.
All right, and yet...
People can come to different judgments on the same data.
And apparently have. The Central Intelligence Agency, Defense Intelligence Agency...
I think I'd be a little careful about that. You better be sure that you're saying the agencies have, not individuals within the agency.
I'm saying analysts within the Central Intelligence Agency.
That may be the case, but
the Defense Intelligence Agency...
That may be the case. There are, as I said, different people looking at the same data. I'm sure can come up with somewhat different judgments. We're not definitely saying it wasn't, and they're not definitely saying it was.
But the question persists. Did the White House withhold information from Dr. Ruina and the panel? On January 21st of this year, London's respected newspaper, The Economist, published an anonymous dispatch labeled confidential in its Foreign Report newsletter, concluding, Israel now has as many as 200 nuclear weapons, and that the Israelis have indeed been cooperating with South Africa and Taiwan on the developments of missile delivery systems. Information confirmed to CBS News by intelligence sources. The Economist dispatch goes on to say, Foreign Report believes President Carter withheld intelligence reports about this cooperation from the independent panel of experts. Israel and South Africa have issued routine denials. That was followed weeks later by reports of another unusual incident in the South Atlantic, this one a flash of infrared radiation detected by an early warning satellite last December 15th. A Johannesburg newspaper quoted U.S. intelligence officials as saying it was caused by a nuclear explosion. But the State Department and the Pentagon blamed a meteor.
We believe that the event, quote event, was natural and not man-made.
The December incident has not caused the White House panel to reevaluate its conclusion that a meteor probably also caused the September 1979 flash. Dr. Leonard Weiss of the Senate Subcommittee on Nuclear Proliferation told CBS News he was skeptical about that finding 6 months ago.
I'm a little surprised at the zeal with which some people have tried to bring to the question of proving that this was not a nuclear event. Certainly there is, it does present, if it was a nuclear event, it presents a great political problem for the United States. And how we deal with it would not be the easiest question to ask of somebody. And I don't think it is possible to lay to rest this event with a report that indicates that a group of people feel that the probability of its not being a nuclear event is perhaps greater than half, and on that basis we all ought to forget about it and go to sleep.
The Reagan White House plans no further investigation of either incident. Robert Pierpoint, CBS News, Washington.
The Polish government today continued its crackdown on dissidents, charging 4 of them with seeking the violent overthrow of the country, an offense that could mean death. Meanwhile, Poland's largest independent union, Solidarity, reacted defiantly to Soviet orders that the labor rebellion be curtailed. Union leader Lech Walesa said that no one can accuse us of being cowards and pledged to continue efforts to oust dishonest government officials. Walesa has been trying to keep labor peace, traveling around the country to resolve local disputes before they become national issues. In Kabul, Afghanistan, gunmen who for 5 days have been holding a hijacked Pakistani plane with 116 persons aboard, including 6 Americans, shot one of the hostages today and threw him onto the runway. The victim, a Pakistani diplomat, died in a Kabul hospital 2 hours later. The 3 hijackers gave Pakistan until tomorrow morning to meet their demand that about 90 of their friends and relatives be released from Pakistani jails, but they didn't say what they would do then. Space officials said today our confidence is growing, and so they said that given no new surprises and no new problems, the maiden launch of the Space Shuttle Columbia should take place on schedule during the week of April 6th. Earlier this week, problems repairing the external fuel tank threatened another delay for the shuttle, already 3 years behind schedule. And given the possibility of another hitch, an official cautioned, my personal opinion is the launch will be sometime in mid-April. This is my last broadcast as the anchorman of the CBS Evening News. For me, it's a moment for which I long have planned, but which nevertheless comes with some sadness. For almost 2 decades, after all, we've been meeting like this in the evenings, and I'll miss that. But those who have made anything of this departure, I'm afraid, have made too much. This is but a transition, a passing of the baton. A great broadcaster and gentleman, Doug Edwards, preceded me in this job, and another, Dan Rather, will follow. And anyway, the person who sits here is but the most conspicuous member of a superb team of journalists, writers, reporters, editors, producers, and none of that will change. Furthermore, I'm not even going away. I'll be back from time to time with special news reports and documentaries, and beginning in June, every week with our science program, Universe. Old anchormen, you see, don't fade away. They just keep coming back for more. And that's the way it is. Friday, March 6th, 1981. I'll be away on assignment, and Dan Rather will be sitting in here for the next few years. Good night.
This has been the CBS Evening News with Walter Cronkite.
This is